Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to navigate the owner portal on a desktop. If you are logging in on a mobile phone, please keep in mind that the content will be similar, but the layout will be slightly different. When you first log in, the landing page is the My Dashboard tab, and you can always access this tab by also clicking on My Dashboard on the left here. At the top of the page, you can see a snapshot of your previous balance, your monthly income, monthly expenses, the ending balance for the month, management fees, pending funds, and the available balance. Below that, the income and expense details are further expanded on through these interactive charts. If I hover my cursor over the expense chart, for example, it'll show the dollar amount, what the expense is for, and the percent it takes up. This is also shown on the legend on the side here. For the income chart, all the income is rent, so it will show 100% is rent, as well as the dollar amount. To see any unpaid bills or management fees on the expense side, simply toggle this button here, and the management fee amount will go up there. And you will also see the repairs and maintenance if there's any unpaid bills. For the income side, if I include any unpaid rent, this amount here will go up. And that is to reflect any rent that is still to be paid for that month. The next tab on the left here is the My Ledger tab. This page shows the specific details of your account history, including income received and paid out by the accounts clerk, plus any bills received and paid out. Similar to the My Dashboard tab, you can also see a snapshot of your income, expenses, ending balance, and the management fee for that specific month. Below that, your ledger is organized by date, with the most recent at the top. And you can always download and print a copy of your ledger by clicking on the download button at the top right here. This is particularly useful if you would like to provide your accountant with a copy of your ledger, or if you would like to save a copy for your own records. The details column on the right here shows what a specific charge or payment was for. So this includes rent, GST, management fees, any bills, as well as an owner's draw, which is an owner's payout amount. Beside that, you have the description column that outlines the charge or income type. An owner draw, for example, will show as a check in this column as your payment, while any expenses will be labeled as bills. A charge indicates to you that payment has been received from a tenant, and most commonly, the charge is a rent. And lastly, on this chart, if you scroll to the bottom and move the bar to the far right, you can also see the amount for each charge or bill, as well as the account balance after that amount is either paid or received. The next tab on the left here is the Communications tab. When you click on this tab, it opens a drop-down menu with 3 sections. The first section is Community Message. When the community message is posted, you will receive an email alert of a new message. Messages featured here include important information or alerts for all of our owners to review. This could be a message from the accounts clerk if banks send notice of issues on their end, which will delay rent payments from arriving, or a notice from the inspection and repair clerk about any updates to the Minimum Housing Act's requirements, or a notice from our general manager about new staff members as we continue to expand. The second section is alerts. Rather than set up system alerts for our owners, we have set those alerts up to be emailed as applicable to each of you, such as news about a tenant's notice to vacate or any other news specific to yourself. This section will show a number in the brackets if you have any alerts to review down the road, but for now you should continue to see this show as 0. And the last section is the Conversations tab. This is where one of our team members can message the individual owners attached to a portfolio directly. You can also message our team by clicking on the New Plus button at the top right here, or you can reply to a conversation in progress by clicking on the plus button here after typing in your response. Anytime an owner starts a conversation or responds to a conversation, our entire team receives an alert, which allows the applicable staff member to respond to you further. Our chance to respond is when we are working at our desk, so you can expect to see a similar delay in our reply as what you would normally face emailing back and forth with us. However, this option is great if you wish to have a conversation tracked in an easy-to-find spot to reference back to later, or if you're unsure which team member to reach out to directly. This section will automatically sort itself with the latest at the top. However, you can toggle this to be the date created or the latest activity, whichever you prefer. The next tab on the left here is the Documents tab. This is one of the most common tabs you will use, as this feature allows you to access all of your owner statements, copies of invoices, plus tenancy documents for your rentals. This tab is organized into 2 sections. The first is Statements. Statements are organized by statement period, with the most recent at the top. To view your statements, you first need to download them. And to do that, you may either need to click on the download icon in the far right here, or you may need to click on the checkbox on the left here and click download when the blue bar appears. This depends on your browser type. If you have the blue checkboxes, you can also download multiple statements at a time. This is particularly useful if you would like to provide your accountant with all of the statements for a particular period, or if you would like to keep them for your own records. A separate tutorial will follow outlining how to read your statement. Scrolling down will take you to the second section, Other Documents. This section is where anything else is uploaded to and is automatically sorted by document type. You will notice lease documents are at the top, followed by any portfolio documents. You can change the order these are sorted in by clicking the applicable column to either switch the alphabetical order, the size, the date uploaded, or the document type. At the top of the page, you also have the option to search for a document if you are looking for something specific and know what it might be called. These documents are any documents attached to a tenant's lease in our system. This could be their lease agreement, renewal agreement, move-in inspection and photos, move-out inspection, and any addendums. It could also be bills that they are responsible for reimbursing you for, such as copies of utility bills that were received or any repair bills. Please note that these documents showcase everything attached to any lease, not just across multiple buildings if you have more than one rental, but also for each of the different tenancies for each individual address. In an effort to keep this section organized and tidy for everyone, we label the file with the house number, followed by what the document is, and followed by the year. For example, move-in inspection, lease docs, after the address. Portfolio documents are any documents that we attach to your portfolio in our system. This is most commonly repair bills as the accounts clerk receives them, but will also include a copy of your contract and any addendums to that. To download any documents from this section, either check off the box on the left and click download at the top there. Or if your browser allows you to download on the right with a similar download as the top section here, you may also do that. And the next tab on the left here is the Reports tab. Since this isn't a section we subscribe to, you can ignore this tab for now. And lastly, we have the Maintenance tab. This page allows you to review any work orders for your rental property or rental properties. The page is automatically set to show you any open work orders. However, you can change that to show all work orders, as well as only closed work orders. A summary of the work order's details will be listed in the chart. However, you can see the full details by clicking on the 3 dots underneath the action column. And here you will be able to see further details for that work order. Since this is an open work order, the status will read open. The location and the description are directly below that. The description box is a useful one to refer back to as it includes the basic details for that work order. Below that, we have the work order documents. This section shows any documents submitted by the tenant for that work order and can include photos or utility reports or anything along those lines that could help with the work order. Below that, we have the building detail and summary. The building summary and the building detail section are not part of the work order itself, but rather they summarize the information we have about the property for the vendor. And below that, we have the building documents. The building documents are any documents that are specific to that building. This includes documents such as condo bylaws or parking maps, and they're not necessarily specific to a tenant. And lastly, the conversation section. You can start a conversation with the inspection and repair clerk by clicking on the new plus button over here. And this conversation will be specifically for this work order. All right, so back to the maintenance tab. Okay, and now let's review a closed work order. Like before, slide over to the action column, click on the 3 dots and click View Detail. A closed work order is similar to an open work order in most aspects. Like before, the status is at the top, and since this is a closed work order, it reads closed. The location and description are also included for the closed work order. Below that, there is one more box to note, and that is the closing comments box. This box is for any comments from the vendor's invoice about the repair, such as recommendations for future replacement or any items for the owner to be aware of. Below that, again, we have the work order documents. In this case, you can see that there is a photo of the work order submitted by the tenant. Whether or not there are any work order documents is not dependent on whether the work order is open or closed, but rather if the tenant has submitted anything. Again, we have the building detail and summary, as well as the building documents. You can see this time there are condo bylaws added. And lastly, again, the Conversations tab, which will allow you to have a conversation specifically about this work order with the inspection and repair clerk. All right, so back to maintenance one more time. This chart displays every work order attached to your portfolio, including any to be deducted from a tenant's security deposit. This chart will automatically organize itself by date with the most recent event at the top. However, you can change this chart to organize by location if you own multiple investment properties, or you can also organize by work order number, by description, or by status if you are on the full chart. Please note that the invoice amount is not added to the work order later when invoiced, so this column will always reflect 0. This is due to the version of the program that we subscribe to, and it is the same for the estimated column. All right, so that covers all the tabs on the left here. At the top, we have these 3 bars that simply collapse and expand the tabs on the left. The 3 dots next to it are a shortcut to the My Dashboard tab. The video icon on this side here will take you to a new portal how-to from the system. Question mark will take you to a help screen from the system. And the alert icon reflects the alert section on the left-hand tab right there. And when you click on your name, it will bring a drop-down menu where you can edit your contact info, change your password, go directly to our website, log out, and toggle the navigation so that the sidebar is dark. To change your contact information, simply click on Edit Contact Info. And here you can see what is currently saved. To edit this, click on Edit Contact Information and make any changes that you would like to do, and then click Save. It is especially important to ensure that your contact information is up to date, including phone numbers, email address, and address. We can make these edits in the back end as well. However, if we are the ones who edit your email address for you, you will have to reset up your portal account again, so it is best if you quickly log on to make that change directly. And that concludes the owner portal navigation tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, life's better when you're home.